I want back, rest, do it homework, and
Brother, I'll be fair with you. If I was there to advise him, his next opponent would be his wife, Katerina, his daughter Maria, his daughter Lisa, and his sons. His family matters, maybe his business issues. That's what he has to take care of now. He has to stop. It's better to leave 1 hour before than 2 minutes after. Unfortunately, this is the truth. It concerns not just boxing, it concerns every single thing. It concerns you, it concerns me, it concerns every one of us.
And please, Oleksandr Usyk, walk away from the sport. Just call it off, call it a day.
Oleksandr Usyk announces retirement after brutal Rico Verhoeven war, and this decision has shaken the boxing world. After the controversial Rico stoppage, Usyk finally admitted he no longer wants to continue taking damage. He said he wants to walk away as undisputed champion before the sport takes everything from him.
You can't earn all monies of the world. You can't beat all fighters of the world. But you need to take this decision. And this is a very difficult decision for a man like Usyk, being on his prime, being on his top, being unbeaten, and to leave. But think of the future. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish him to retire at his prime.
Oleksandr Usyk tried to keep the focus on boxing, but his words carried a different weight after the Rico Verhoeven controversy. While critics questioned the stoppage and fans demanded answers, Usyk made it clear that outside pressure is not his concern. His job, as he said, is boxing. But now retirement talk is growing louder around him.
I do not think about this. A lot of people say, hey, it's early, it's not. Listen, it's not my job. My job is...
Duke McKenzie believes Oleksandr Usyk should seriously consider retirement after the controversial ending against Rico Verhoeven. Many fans felt Rico was denied a fair chance, and instead of celebrating Usyk's win, the debate quickly shifted toward Usyk's age and possible decline. McKenzie's warning is clear. Usyk should walk away now before a younger, hungrier heavyweight exposes him completely.
You know, Father Time catches up with everybody sooner or later, and it would be catastrophic to see the great Oleksandr Usyk get beat by one of these young, up-and-coming, young, hungry lions that are out there. Because, you know, he's like a piece of meat, and everybody wants that piece of meat right now, and they want that bite. And, you know, Moses Atama, he's another one. Cabello, he's another one.
Alex Krasiuk believes Oleksandr Usyk has reached the point where stopping may protect his legacy more than another fight. His warning became even stronger after the Rico Verhoeven controversy, where many felt Usyk looked older, slower, and fortunate to escape the fight. For Krasiuk, retirement is not weakness. It is about leaving before boxing takes too much.
His family matters, maybe his business issues. That's what he has to take care of now. He has to stop. It's better to leave 1 hour before than 2 minutes after. Unfortunately, this is the truth. It concerns not just boxing, it concerns every single thing. It concerns you, it concerns me, it concerns every one of us. You can't earn all monies of the world. You can't beat all fighters of the world. But you need to take this.
Ariel Helwani believes the Rico Verhoeven stoppage was one of the biggest controversies surrounding Oleksandr Usyk's career. He argued that Rico deserved the chance to finish the round, and that the decision damaged the credibility of the fight. Instead of proving Usyk's dominance, the ending made people question whether the champion was protected.
The fight is stopped with 1 second left in the 11th round. But in reality, if you actually watch it, and I've watched every single video, every single angle, it was seconds after the 11th round was over. It was an absolute awful stoppage. Rico Verhoeven deserved better. He was absolutely robbed. That was a disgrace of a stoppage, and the scorecards were a disgrace as well. And now, once again, someone comes over to boxing, and as they said on the broadcast, you can't let someone walk in there and just make a...
Max Kellerman believes Rico Verhoeven deserves a rematch, but the situation around Oleksandr Usyk has now become more complicated. Even Turkey Usyk reportedly called the stoppage bad and said Rico deserved the chance to continue. That statement only increased the pressure on Usyk because now the champion must decide whether to face Ajit Cabello first, give Rico a rematch, or walk away before the controversy follows him any further.
Everybody, this guy deserves a rematch, but this needs to happen first. Agit's been waiting. Here's a quote from Turkey Usyk since then. It was a bad stoppage. Rico deserved to continue to fight. It's clear that Usyk was controlling in the end, but the referee should have allowed the fight to reach clear result. It is the call of Usyk now what he does next. Cabello has waited a long time. We want to do the fight in a stadium in Germany, and after that, we want to see the rematch with Rico, and I want to do 2 more fights.
Frank Warren's reaction added more credibility to the criticism around the stoppage. Once he was told the referee stepped in after the bell, his response was clear: that would be wrong. For Usyk, this is exactly why the victory has not felt clean to many fans. Instead of closing the debate, the ending created even more doubt around what really happened.
I thought that, well, I've got that wrong, and I didn't. I thought he stopped it just before the bell.
No. I've seen.
Well, if that's the case, then that's totally wrong.
Yeah, this is what Peter Fury was saying.
I have to watch that back. I didn't watch it back.
I've watched it back, the clip, 50 times, Frank. You can hear the bell going.
And then he stops it.
Yes, after.
Well, he done that. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Liam Goff believes Oleksandr Usyk's performance raised serious questions about where he is in his career. On paper, Rico Verhoeven was supposed to be a comfortable fight for a 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion. But inside the ring, Rico made it difficult for 11 rounds with strength, pressure, and awkward movement. That is why many people now believe Usyk no longer looks untouchable.
What the hell was that? Oleksandr Usyk, who is a 2-time heavyweight undisputed champion, went in there with a guy by the name of Rico Verhoeven, who had a record of 1-0 with 1 knockout in a fight that he had over a decade ago, who has made his name primarily in kickboxing as a kickboxing legend. Not a boxing legend, a kickboxing legend. On the surface, that is seen as an easy fight for one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of gloves. Right? That is seen as an easy fight on paper. Oleksandr Usyk went in there, and for 11 rounds, he made that fight hard. No, not only did he make it hard, Rico Verhoeven made it hard for him by showing a tremendous engine, tremendous strength, very unorthodox, but he made it difficult for Oleksandr Usyk, to the point when you are watching this fight, you're thinking Usyk needs not just a knockdown, he needs a knockout to win this.
Alex Krasiuk believes Oleksandr Usyk should think beyond one more payday and protect the legacy he has already built. His message is not emotional, it is strategic. After the Rico Verhoeven controversy, Usyk's image no longer feels untouchable to many fans. Krasiuk wants him to retire while still remembered as an all-time great. Not after one bad night changes the conversation.
But think of the future. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish him to retire at his prime and being remembered in ages as one of the most prominent and greatest fighters of all times.
Rico Verhoeven believes the ending of the Usyk fight should not be ignored. In his view, the referee made a mistake, and the result should either be changed to a no contest or sent to the scorecards. His claim that he was ahead only makes the controversy bigger because it directly challenges the legitimacy of Usyk's victory.
Yeah, of course mistakes can be made, but then looking back at it, the referee should admit his mistake, look back at it and say like, hey, so it's either a no contest, or we go to the scorecards. And I think if we go to the scorecards, I was ahead.
Spencer Oliver believes Rico Verhoeven proved he is more than just a big name or a crossover attraction. Against Oleksandr Usyk, Rico showed toughness, personality, and real fighting ability under pressure. That is why this controversy matters. Fans are not only angry about the stoppage, they feel a serious competitor may have been denied his moment.
He's a big personality and he sells fights so well, and he's a big character, and the press conferences, the build-up to fights, and what he delivers in the ring. The guy is a serious talent, and he'll be missed when he's retired, that is for sure.
Don Charles believes Oleksandr Usyk's performance was shocking because everyone expected the champion to eventually take control. Round after round, people waited for Usyk to raise the tempo and show the level that made him a two-time undisputed champion. But instead, the struggle continued, and that is why many now question whether age and we're finally catching up with him.
Going to the fight, like everybody witnessed, I was very, very surprised and shocked of what was unfolding in front of me. Round per round, you keep thinking any moment now Usyk is going to turn the screw. And it's one of those things, the nightmare that was unfolding in front of Usyk and in front of the millions watching around the world, and I'm one of those. You just keep thinking, any moment now, Usyk is doing this deliberate. Any moment now, he's going to turn it on and show why he's the undisputed, two-time undisputed. And unfortunately, it was one of those nightmares that just continued. And I was very, very surprised, to be honest.
Frank Warren does not want to see Oleksandr Usyk retire under pressure, but he also understands the position Usyk is in. The champion has already been part of major fights and built a historic legacy. After the Rico Verhoeven controversy, the question is no longer only about what Usyk can still do. It is about whether continuing is worth the risk.
Well, I hope that's not going to be the case for him, and if he carries on, we certainly would be looking to help him in that way. But look, he's been involved in some of the great.
Peter Fury believes the stoppage was early, but his bigger point makes the Usyk situation even more complicated. He admitted Rico Verhoeven was tired and inexperienced in certain boxing moments, yet still praised him for pushing Oleksandr Usyk into a very difficult fight. That is what made the night so damaging for Usyk's image. Rico was not a lifelong boxer, but he still made the undisputed champion look uncomfortable. For many fans, that is why the retirement talk feels more serious now.
Look, I think the stoppage was early, but at the end of the day, he was tired, he was fatigued. It was the 11th round, wasn't it? Could he make the 12? Probably not. But the stoppage was premature. But look, this guy, Rico Verhoeven, is unbelievable.
Yes.
Look, if he had the experience of, like, when I'm getting tired, close the gap, grab hold, let the referee split you up, buy time, this is what he's missing. You can't get this experience in a training camp. And don't get me wrong, we've been 6 months with him, turning him from a kickboxer to a boxer, getting him on the front foot, getting him off the back, letting him move, feints, you name it. Yeah, we worked tirelessly with him to transform him, and what a performance to do what he's done with Oleksandr Usyk, because I rate Oleksandr Usyk as a great fighter, and he's a great human being as well.
Eddie Hearn believes Oleksandr Usyk has given everything to boxing, but he also noticed something different during this fight week. According to Hearn, Usyk did not seem to have the same confidence, energy, or buzz that people usually expect from him. That observation matters because Usyk has always been known for discipline, belief, and mental sharpness. After the Rico Verhoeven controversy, Hearn's words added to the feeling that Usyk may be closer to the end than many people wanted to admit.
How good of a servant has he been to box?
He's a great guy. I just felt this week, I couldn't, I've been around him a lot of fight weeks, I just didn't feel any kind of confidence or buzz. And I think when I heard that this fight was getting made, I thought that's a strange fight for him to take.
Derek Chisora believes Rico Verhoeven was robbed by the stoppage, but he also defended Oleksandr Usyk against claims that he has completely declined. In Chizora's view, Usyk did not lose a step. He simply underestimated Rico and only realized the danger when the fight had gone deep. That is why this controversy has divided people so strongly. Some believe Usyk was protected. Others believe he would dominate a rematch. But either way, the first fight left too many unanswered questions.
Do you think it was an early stoppage?
That was an early stoppage. They robbed that fucking guy.
What's next for Rico, do you think?
Okay, huh?
What do you think's next for Rico?
Dylan White. I think Rico should fight Dylan White. Huh?
Yeah, what about the rematch?
They got a rematch. Nah, then, but what's his name? What's the Turkish boy? What's his name?
Caballero.
He won't get his WBC. You know, be unfair. Actually, you know what? Fuck him. Fuck him. We won the rematch.
Derek, was that an off night or has Usyk lost a step?
Usyk didn't lose a step, fellas. Well, you have to understand that. Usyk hasn't been in the ring for a while, so he didn't lose a step. Yeah. So what happened there was this thing taking his time. You know, if he's fighting a real boxer, if he fights this guy again next time, he knocks him out.
Do you think he underestimated him?
I think he didn't respect him until he realized it was in round 11?
Yeah.
And he was losing. He was like...
You said they robbed him. Why do you think the ref stopped it?
That stoppage was wrong.
Do you think Usyk will take the rematch?
Ryan Garcia believes Rico Verhoeven gave Oleksandr Usyk serious problems because of his awkward style, strength, and pressure. He did not fully blame the referee, but he clearly felt the round may have already ended before the stoppage. That detail is exactly why the controversy refused to disappear. Even fighters watching from ringside believed Rico deserved more time. For Usyk, the problem is not just winning the fight. The problem is that so many people now question how that win was secured.
What do you think of Rico tonight?
Rico fought his ass off, man. He had the style that it was very confusing for Usyk, and gave Usyk a lot of problems tonight. But you know, it was an awkward fighter, but Usyk got the job done. So.
Do you think Rico should have been allowed to continue?
I believe that the round ended, in my opinion. If I'm telling the truth, I believe the round ended, and you know, I don't know. I don't know why the bell didn't ring. I think it was like 10 seconds left, and then I don't know. But yeah, that's how it goes. The stoppage. It's not my job to say if the ref did a good stoppage, but I thought.
Adam Smith believes the shock came from how little chance Rico Verhoeven was given before the fight. Most people expected Oleksandr Usyk to control him, break him down, and eventually stop him without much drama. But once the fight started, that prediction did not look so simple anymore. Rico forced Usyk to work, took early rounds in the eyes of some observers, and made the champion look uncomfortable in ways fans were not expecting. That is why this fight changed the conversation. It was no longer just about Usyk winning. It became about why a kickboxing great with limited boxing experience was able to push an undisputed champion into such a complicated and controversial night.
Well, I tell you what, it's exciting, isn't it? Very, very exciting. And I think that we were all so surprised because Rico was really given no chance. I mean, everyone said he's got to climb a pyramid or more to even get anywhere close to Usyk. Predictions were, from all of us, pretty much, Usyk by stoppage. And it seemed like he was getting into gears, and even though maybe he lost some of those early rounds, I mean, the scoring, Mike Coppinger had it very wide to Verhoeven. Others maybe had it more to Usyk.
Peter Fury believes the referee made a human mistake, but he also made it clear that the stoppage was premature. In his view, Rico Verhoeven was still on his feet, the round was ending, and he should have been given the full minute to recover. That detail is what makes the controversy so powerful. Rico was not out of the fight. He was still competing, still dangerous, and still believed he could win. Fury also revealed that Rico was not satisfied with moral victory. He wants a rematch. And with Turkey Usyk reportedly interested, the pressure now shifts back to Oleksandr Usyk. Does he prove the win was real, or retire before the debate gets louder?
Listen, I'm sure Mike Lyson's a nice guy and he does everything properly. We're all human. He's probably just made an error there. But It was definitely a premature stoppage because it was the end of the round. He's got a full minute to recover and he's on his feet. You know, so yes, it's a very poor stoppage, especially when he was in the fight as well.
Spoke to Rico and he's not happy with putting up a valiant defeat. You can tell he's genuinely gutted. He said he's going to push for the rematch. Is that the direction you'd like to see him go? Turki Al-Sheikh seems keen on the rematch, and when he, puts his mind to these things, they tend to get done.
You know, look, we'd love the rematch, and he's a great champion, Oleksandr Usyk. And let's not take anything away from his performance.
Liam Goff believes the scorecards made the controversy even harder to ignore. If even one judge had Rico Verhoeven ahead at the time of the stoppage, then the ending becomes much bigger than a simple referee decision. It becomes a result that may have changed the entire direction of the fight. For Oleksandr Usyk, that is the problem. A champion of his level is expected to remove doubt, not leave fans arguing over cards, bells, and stoppages. Rico was supposed to be the outsider, but he made people question the official story. And now, instead of celebrating Usyk's greatness, many are asking whether boxing protected him from a dangerous final round.
Cards. I don't know at the time of the stoppage what the scorecard said, but surely at least one scorecard would have had to have Rico Verhoeven up. Mike Coppinger, who, let's be frank, he is not really that good when it comes to boxing, but he gave Usyk 2 rounds going into the 11th.
Oleksandr Usyk may still be the champion, but after the Rico Verhoeven controversy, the conversation around him has changed completely. Some believe he should retire as undisputed before age and damage catch up with him. Others believe he must give Rico the rematch to prove the first result was not protection. Either way, Usyk now faces the biggest decision of his career. Should he walk away on top or return one more time to silence everyone? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more boxing updates and turn on notifications for the next story.